Hey, we are live. We're
Oh my
here.
god.
Human
Look,
beings.
it's my dog. Look at how little he is off in the distance.
Oh, he is. He's tiny. He's tiny. I also tried to get a picture of him when he was looking at the camera when we were doing the podcast tradition of, you know, of taking a picture. But it didn't work. He started looking at his own butt.
Well, that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
He spends a lot of time looking at his own butt.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of looking at our own butts, welcome to the Immaterial Gamers live cast.
Live podcast. Yeah, that's us.
Oh yeah.
Constantly looking at our own butts.
Oh God, how did I
Only
start
on
this?
camera.
Take a good deep breath.
Well, thank God we're not getting monetized on YouTube because that would take us straight off. All right. Anyway, it's your boys. It's Ryan down at the bottom here, and then above, this way is Duncan.
Hello, Ryan. How are you today?
I am good, sir. How are you?
I'm great, especially since I have to use the podcast layout as a reference for where you actually are because it's never correct on our Discord.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I just move it over all
All
the
I
time.
know is, from what I've just been told, I'm looking at Duncan, I believe.
You are. You can look
You're kind of
across.
looking at my neck. What's up?
Yeah. So speaking of, there's Stefan. Hi,
I'm short
Stefan.
ass. Leave me alone.
Hi, Steph. How are you?
I just love the fact Ryan has to look up at me.
Well, yeah, but this is weird because on like we say, Duncan saying on Discord, um, on our Discord screen, I'm actually looking down here, like that. So it doesn't,
Yeah, there you go.
it doesn't really work. But for the screen, hi, hello. Now it
The
does
part
mean
that the part that matters because everyone can see it.
yeah, as long as it's all there. And hi Terry as well, who says Tiny Tim. So yeah. So before we get on with some podcasty stuff, which we've put out in the Twitter, we're going to talk uh, Game Awards in terms of news. We've got a new feature now that I'm as part of news. There is, we had What the Fuck Blizzard. Speaking of, I'm wearing my wearables today. My order finally arrived of a Cultaholic trucker cap, which would be more suitable for Terry's head rather than mine. But still, I bought it because I wanted it. Black Friday deal. It's arrived after some postal strike issues.
There's some Fridays.
It went, yeah, yeah, Terry the trucker, and I got a WTF pin of one of the shows on there. Is called WTF Moments In, where it's all the what the fudge moments in the wrestling shows that happened. But we have What the Fuck Blizzard, but there's a very special one considering the issues of a certain crypto trading platform.
Oh boy.
That I've now got one called WTFTX.
Oh dear.
Which, I'm surprised I didn't think of it I'm surprised I didn't think of it earlier, and I would go and pick up a drink of Dr. Pepper to not drink it. That's usually a good
There
thing.
you go. Coin it.
Mm.
Claim it. Copyright it. Make license it. Sell it. Make $1 million.
Not mint.
Then,
Wait, is this the point where I'm supposed to mint it as an NFT now as well? Which,
yeah,
as someone who
sure, why not?
As someone who like absolutely despises the idea of NFTs, and I don't care. Before this ends up in some sort of NFT bros excuses as to why it works, which they never tell you why it works. They just say bollocks. That doesn't even make sense to a normal human being, let alone to someone who's trying to defend the indefensible. Yeah, I'm not making an NFT of WTFTX. I'm just happy I can say it. Now, say it drunk 3 times. That might be a little bit different, but not on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Good.
It's too early in the week.
I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, lucky you. I'm still working right until the weekend before Christmas. So.
Hey, I'm working Christmas.
Oh dear. All right. Fine. I concede. I yield. So, So right, let's look at the itinerary of what we go. Duncan, you've just come off a Hades stream
I sure did.
with
Not even half an hour ago.
yeah, not even half an hour ago from when we were doing this. And yous were doing heat races. You and
Yes,
Andrea in a sibling
it's a
rivalry.
new thing that I've just invented, and definitely no one else has ever used it. I have no idea if anyone else has ever done this as like a competitive thing in Hades. If they have, and they now owe me licensing fees because I've copyrighted this format called heat racing. Basically, you take two people in playing Hades together who they race to clear the game and kill Hades as fast as possible.
Mhm.
Um,
Or get as far as possible as we learn
yeah,
through
and
this.
that may end up being the case. I mean, you get to a certain point and you do have to try and kill Hades as much as possible. But the idea is to kill Hades,
Yeah.
and whoever gets there first, um, they have a point of heat applied up to them, which is basically in Hades you have the pact of punishment that you unlock after you've like beaten the game,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically just like incremental modifiers that you add to your runs that will make the game more difficult. Enemies will spawn more often, they'll have more HP, you'll have a time limit on the map, etc., etc. You
Mm-hmm.
can add just degrees of difficulty to add extra rewards to your runs.
Yeah, which
And
if I remember as well, like a lot of Titan Blood, for example, because as you progress through Hades, you pick up various like key items as you clear
yeah,
each zone, and you can only get a key item per like once per weapon per heat level.
yeah,
So
basically.
it's sort of like
I mean, there's obviously like there's hundreds of points at which you can get more key items because of that.
yeah.
So like there's no shortage of key items. It's just a matter of, are you good enough to beat the game with those conditions? Um, but yeah, so that basically that's what we were doing. As we were just every time someone wins, they add a degree of heat, and the modifier is chosen by the loser.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just race again with now added difficulty, and you just kind of go back and forth like that
Yeah.
until something interesting happens, I guess, until
Mm-hmm.
you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's a kind of a fun game mode. I think it would be an interesting way for like two Hades streamers to
To
go at
go
it.
at it, yeah. So that'll work. I mean, let's say something this way. I passively took part in this. For some reason, I have a heat level of 3 now. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. We basically decided we decided that if neither of us made it to the end and killed Hades, then Ryan gets a degree of heat, and he gets to choose who the real winner was or the real loser was,
Yeah,
and
I think that's where we determined earlier on it was basically who made it furthest. When both of them basically got to Hades, it was just more of a case of who chunked out Hades more.
mm,
So,
Yeah, the God Killer.
I like to chunk Hades in my free time.
oh, that's added. That's getting added to the quote list as well now. Just like it's me. I'm men.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty fun. It's a dead heat, I would say, just about.
Hey.
A
The wonderful
Oh,
time of day.
jeez.
Boom boom.
Andrew actually did really well.
Yeah.
Andrew did well, even like I mean, not to like I mean, she did really well.
I mean that
I
first run where she was absolutely like goozled by a Trial of the Gods choice, followed by a Thanatos, like sort
yeah,
of
and
bit,
then
and then still came back to sort of like.
yeah, overtook me.
I mean, to be
It
fair,
was
it was
wild.
within like 10% of like the second phase health bars. It really wasn't that far off. So
Yeah, it was only a few seconds apart.
so that's just how it works. And the reason we're talking about Hades at this point is because, well, as you've noticed, Andrea, Duncan, and myself at this point would say we'd basically be Hades simps. We're
Hades
fans.
fans. Hades enjoyers.
Hades, yeah, average Hades enjoyers.
Yeah, exactly.
Giga Chad, right? So imagine our surprise when this little, this event called Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards by Jeff Keighley, hosted by Jeff Keighley. I'm going to keep forever saying that because, it's just how it works. So imagine our surprise where one of the first games announced at the Game Awards happens to be Hades 2.
Wow.
With no, there was, this is like Supergiant
No
again.
build up.
Yeah, no build-up, just done. This is exactly the same thing that they did when they announced Hades, to a point. Is that they kept it hidden that Hades was being the next project, and had it announced at the Game Awards as available in early access now. Which was sort of mental as an idea. It's like, oh yeah, we've not heard from Supergiant Games for... I mean, when did Pyre come out? 2014? We hadn't heard anything from them for 3-4 years, and then suddenly, brand new game available to try now.
And you talk about you talk about like industry leaks, right? It's how it's become such a thing now, where every new popular thing that's coming out, it's just the whole base. It's 70% of the thing is released either in or described in text, or right before it happens. It's just kind of this is it clearly, to me, that this is evidence to suggest that all that shit's just manufactured. It's just you can clearly keep a secret if you actually give a shit.
Yeah, because at this point, Supergiant's done it twice now.
So there you go. Big fat Christmas surprise. Obviously, it's not going to be out for Christmas. That'd be a little bit too early.
I believe they stated that because for the email that I got, because obviously Supergiant Games' newsletter, I subscribe. So yeah, I think they said it was news about early access was coming early 2023. So not that long. And from what it looks like with the Supergiant Games way is not to just keep people hanging on for too long. So yeah, New Year comes, a couple of months into it probably. Hello, early access of Hades 2, and yes, it's just gonna happen. I played early access for Hades. I did a bloody video series on it. It played. What was it going? Well, what do we call it? It was an age-old series called Going Rogue, the mini show where dumbass here would try to complete a roguelike game in fewer than 10 attempts. Which, I got to Hades in the 10th attempt.
Nice.
So, and I mean, at the time when I started the thing, Hades wasn't even available. The Temple of Styx wasn't there. So the furthest you could actually get in the game was actually beating Theseus and Asterius, yeah, Minotaur and Theseus. At that point, when I started the thing, I got a few attempts in and was getting to, got to them a couple of times, and then it's like, oh right, yeah, Temple of Styx is here now. Like, oh, and believe me, the first time I got to Cerberus and it was expected that you thought that you were going to have to fight him, was a thing.
The top 10 anime betrayals.
Yep. Yep. Just to find out at that point, it's just like, no, there's absolutely no way you're going to take on Cerberus.
He just wants a snack because he's a good boy.
Yeah. Yes, you can pet the dog in this, but in the Twitter account of Can You Pet the Dog for the Hades 2 trailer, there's no dog, but you can pet the frog.
Frogs.
So what's how do you pronounce the name? Is it Melinoe?
Well, frogs are not as cool as dogs.
No, well. This half sister of Zagreus, Melinoe, I think it's. I'm probably butchering it, but
probably. That doesn't sound like any Greek person I ever heard of, but.
Right, hold on. Pronunciation guide. Here we go. Can I? How do you pronounce? Yeah, there we go. Melinoe pronunciation. Yeah. Can you just tell me?
Little couple extra syllables in there.
Melanoi.
Melanoi?
Melanoi.
Is that does that is that like some kind of historical Greek name?
Yeah, she is like Zagreus, part of Greek mythology. So
All right,
yeah,
Melanoi.
Melanoi. Not as this video has said, which will I'll look at the name of the channel so we can bring it up. In fact, I'll just bring it. It was Julian Mikhail. It's as he says, it's not Melanoi. Oh, Melino is what he says in the video.
Milano.
Melino.
Milano.
Milano. Let's call the whole thing off. So yeah, so that's the following. This is going to be a different one. We're actually battling to get into the underworld, as opposed to escaping it, because Big Daddy Hades has got himself caught out by Big Grandpa Kronos.
Oh no.
So that's how that game's going. But also, yeah, when the inevitable happens and you and Andrea start doing a heat race, it's going to become. I think it's going to have to end up being a 3-person heat race. I will get absolutely slaughtered because I can't speedrun for toffee, but you know.
You just need a better motivator. Toffee's mid.
Salted caramel?
I mean, I can't eat caramel, but I know people are a fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that'll just be my thing on that. So yeah, we'll come back to the Game Awards later on because there is a game that me and Steph did look at and we're interested. But we'll talk about that during the news segment. For me, the other thing that's happened over the past like 7 days or whatever is the ID at Xbox event. So every so often, Microsoft and the Xbox consoles will release demos for indie games that are part of the self-publishing platform ID at Xbox. And generally at that point they look to be curated because the games on there do look cool. I've not got round to a lot of them. I've only got round to one, which is what I'm going to talk about. But yeah, they do look fun. I'm going to try them, and I like the whole idea of letting people, you know, because demos. Excuse me. Wait, autoframe. Thank you. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I lost my focus then for a second. Yeah, so demos used to be a thing. You know, there used to be a thing that you could try a video game before you bought it. And give, you know, and in some cases, some of them are works in progress, and you could give feedback. And, you know, developers would look at it rather than what they're doing now of expecting you to buy a $70 game now. Which in if you do currency conversion, a $70 game would be £64 over here.
Yeah, which don't know if the numbers quite match up there, but
no. But I mean, to be fair, it's you know, it's not like it's Steam. You know, oh, what's this $70 game on Steam? Oh yeah, it's £70. No,
not quite. I mean, look, I get it. Boris Johnson, it was not the best of times, but I mean, the pound hasn't hit it that hard.
Do we need to tell you about Liz Truss and the fact that she was going to have a book released, and the book was called Out of the Blue: The Surprising Rise of Liz Truss? It didn't even release before she resigned 45 days after taking office. So the book is now called something else.
More like Into the Blue.
Yeah. Oh God. Let me just see if I can.
Into the Wild Blue Yonder.
Out of the Blue, 2022. No, not the film.
Electric Boogaloo.
Liz Truss. Yeah, the title, it was originally called. Hold on, if I can find the Wikipedia for this. Here we go. So the original story was going to be called Out of the Blue: The Inside Story of Liz Truss and Her Astonishing Rise to Power. which was due out for the 8th of December. It then got retitled to Out of the Blue, The Inside Story of Liz Truss and Her Explosive Rise to Power. And then is now called Out of the Blue, The Inside Story of the Unexpected Rise and Rapid Fall of Liz Truss.
Rip.
So, take that as you want it. But anyway, yeah, idea Xbox. The game that I played, because it came, because I've been waiting for it for years since I did it as a something immaterially different. Aaero 2 or Aaero 2. How would you pronounce it? A and then the A for. Is it EFA? Like the AE letter that they use now. Is it A or A?
I don't actually know how you're supposed to pronounce that symbol.
Because it's
is it ether?
Yeah, because it's stylized A.
Is it E?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be ether, and you drop the A. Where's that pronunciation guide gone? Where's but yeah, stylized Aaero 2. It's the sequel to the game Aaero or Aaero. Help. It's basically a rail shooter with rhythm elements, or a rhythm game with rail shooter elements. Look, I enjoy it, is basically what I'm saying. So the first game, you were a ship and you were flying through levels, and you controlled the ship with the right stick and the left stick. The left stick, you moved the ship around the outside of the area to line it up with ribbons, like little lines that you just keep the ship on to magnetically charge. And dog. And then the right stick, you'd use to aim at enemy ships that would try and fire bullets at your arse. Or in the first game, missiles. And by a combination of those two ideas, you had to survive all the levels and score the most amount of points you could. And get graded between 1 and 5 stars. Generally, you wanted 5 stars. And you'd go through the soundtrack, which was like this really heavy drum and bass, dubstep, electronic, which works. I've learnt now that there's a big difference between rhythm games with a curated soundtrack and rhythm games where you can just throw your own music and it algorithmically generates a level for you. I mean, they're good. A lot of those rhythm games are good. I mean, the first one that I really, really enjoyed was Audio Surf way back when you could just put in anything you wanted. But then at the end of the day, then some of them some rhythm games just got, I don't want to say got lazy, but so it got to that point where there wasn't really much difference between songs of varying styles and beats and how the level generated them. So it's just like, it was the same sort of thing. So now I feel a rhythm game now lives and dies on the soundtrack in game in order to play. And Aaero's was great. I enjoyed it. I'm not usually a big drum and bass and dubstep person, but that didn't matter to me because it absolutely fit the game fine. And I actually started enjoying the songs because of it. Some of my playlist on my Amazon Music now is based or is taken directly from rhythm games like that. So
I like you saying you could insert your own music and have the game generate a level
algorithmically generate.
Yeah, I'm just picturing just putting like the weirdest crap in there, it's like, it's a piece of cake to make a pretty cake.
Modern Mage General, you could put that in there. That'd be
the very model of a modern Major General.
Yeah. So the sequel, of which the demo is on Xbox Series S and X at the moment. It's not on any other consoles at the moment, nor is it on my preferred platform, because I'm going to stream the hell out of that thing when it comes out of PC. But expected soon is the talk on that. Is more with tweaks. So I'll say it this way: I enjoyed the first game, but having the feature of locking onto enemies and then letting go of the button on the beat, and it only being sort of missiles and no other way to defend yourself, is a little bit sort of tough. So in the sequel, they've added a machine gun, so you can lock onto multiple enemies with your missiles like the first game, but you can also shoot bullets out the sky and shoot ships with a machine gun that does overheat if you hold onto the button too long. To balance that, which works, and that's absolutely fine. Soundtrack from the 2 demo songs that they put through is on point and is great, and the ribbon things are still there, and I'm really going to enjoy trying to do a 12 hours one idiot stream of that. Dogs.
Power, go.
Hi. But the other thing that they've added is multiplayer, and I've not been able to try out multiplayer yet. And Duncan's going to go and quickly take
Andrea's off to work.
Andrea's. There you go. Bye, Andrea.
He's leaving.
Yeah, so it's got multiplayer. It's a cooperative experience now. I have not managed to find a second person to co-op with because I'm the only one in the house who likes the rhythm games.
What was that? What was that one game we played that was like a rhythm, like
Oh, just shapes and beats.
Shapes and beats? Yeah.
Which was a distillation of rhythm games. Is basically, yeah, the level has the rhythm, and all you've got to do is dodge. Which you'd think would be easy, but no. Oh, do you remember that Mortal Kombat level?
Mortal Kombat.
Graded the hardest level in the game by a significant margin. So
Yeah,
no wonder we only lasted like 17 seconds or whatever. But yeah, the 2-player mode looks cool. Basically, you get given your own ribbons, one blue, one yellow, for your blue and yellow ships, and you try and do them without crossing the streams.
Don't cross the streams. It'll like atomize the universe or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I want it to come out. Mad fellows, I'm not desperate, but when you got it, it's all cool. I mean, to be fair, they did say that it is like massively work in progress. That there'll be situations where frame rate drops will happen, and it's not, it's not fully optimized. We know we're working on it. Is the discussion? So at least they throw it out there and that country. But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I want more, and I want more soon.
I want more.
Yeah. So there. So Steph, you watched Dragon Age apparently.
Yes, but I've also just read. I've also kind of, because I forgot about the Game Awards, looked at the announcement that happened within the Game Awards.
Yes.
And is there a lot of us this Friday?
Is there a lot of us this Friday?
Hide and seek seems fun.
Oh, yes.
And it came out last Friday.
Yes. They've added a new mode into Among Us.
Amongst us.
Among Us.
Yeah,
Among Us.
So basically, what it looks like that Inner Sloth are doing at the moment is taking custom game modes that people played inside Among Us, giving them some tweaks, and releasing them as actual game modes. So they kind of did that with the role system. In a sense, people were just sort of doing custom role mods for Among Us, and then they patched in roles. So hide and seek, they'd done the same thing. Really.
Yep.
Is it just that simple? Sort of like one imposter, no age.
Yeah, one imposter, which you all know who it is from the beginning.
Right.
Because they're literally a monster.
Oh, good.
But from there, like how you had
this was a scary game.
It's Amongst Us. You know what Amongst Us is? It's the guy trying to kill. It's an imposter killing you.
Yeah.
This one is the imposter. Everybody knows already. You can't vote him out. What you have to do is complete your tasks and win.
Oh, so it's purely task victory.
Yes, by the seems of it. But every time you complete a task, the monster gets an alert that task in a general direction, basically like a like a red, like when you're being shot in a first-person shooter.
Yeah,
it
you
kinda
get
gives you
given
the
sort of
radar
an idea, a general direction of
direction. Yeah, so you get like a buzzer for that direction. You
right,
start running that way, knowing someone was there at some point.
right, and then the hiders have to basically do their task and get out of dodge.
And hide. It's like you can. They've changed the way some of the stuff works, so you can get behind chairs a little bit better.
Now,
But it will
you
always
see, at
show
this
a
point,
little bit of your character. So
is
if someone walks in the room and they're not as keen eye as some other people, your foot might be sticking out slightly.
oh god, I'd like it at that point that
Mm,
that
it
would
is.
give the crewmates the ability to use vents.
It does.
Ah,
That's where you can hide and escape from the monster completely, and the monster can't join that one.
right, okay. Well, you know what? I'll put the call out. I'll put the play session call out. We'll see what happens. Because yes,
I am on a I'm on a new work schedule. I don't know what it's going to be like week to week,
mhm,
because it may vary. This current week coming up, I'm going to be working from 8 till 4,
right.
with getting home around 6, 5:30 to 6 kind of thing.
So later session if we were to get a Duncan.
Yeah, it would be possible,
Well, that's why I'll just
but
do my call out. I'll just ask for names
but
and
that would be the
times.
challenge. I think that for the most part, I'm either going to have Friday off completely, or that's going to be my work day. There's
Mhm.
not really going to be a lot of variance between that, I don't think.
Yeah, fair dues. Well, I say it's something we'll look at, but yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I completely forgot about hide and seek. That'd be fun. Speaking of that, I did see on my Steam that there were some patches for the matriarch as well, so that's got to be a repeat at some point with more people as well because we enjoyed that.
I don't remember it.
The one where
Actually.
the one where like everyone was a nun and they had to
Oh, okay, yeah, I
do their
remember.
tasks or act like AI, and you had to, as the matriarch, kill them all.
I
Get
love
rid
the
of the
fact that in one
heathens.
of them, I never saw this person. It was like, I never went in the tunnel, and you never saw me.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Oh, I went in the tunnel once, and it was like, I never seen that person. It was like, because you never make it around the whole map in one go.
Yeah, but things change. But we can do that. Want to play more of that as well because it was funny. It was funny.
Yeah,
It
Um,
was.
that was a goofy game. I
yeah,
have to try to remember what my matriarch voice was.
yeah.
Yes.
Something like yeah, yeah. It was some sort of
I'll have
accent.
to. I'll rewatch the video.
Yeah. So with that, Steph, how so you've looked at Among Us there, but I guess briefly on this before we head up into the news, like where were you on Dragon Age Absolution?
You love it.
There we go. There's your review, everyone.
Absolutely love it. And from what I can make out, it's actually following for the next Dragon Age. It's
Right.
like in between.
So that right, okay. So this is the idea behind this would be to get people back up to speed.
Yes.
Fair enough. And you said it's on Netflix.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that'd be something to consider there then. So
It's
yeah,
Netflix.
you know what I should do? Oops, maybe. Oh, you know what I should do? Load on. People may have just saw the screen freeze for a second there. That's my fault because reasons. Right, where were we on our news? There was loads of it. There was loads of it. Now get out of here. Get out of here, graphic designers. We're poor.
We
News.
make poor people look rich.
Yeah. Speaking of poor people, actually no. Let's go straight into this. Actually, I want to some of these. So everything announced at the Game Awards was just something that we could just have a look at, see if there was anything interesting. But we talked about two of the things that were there, and there was a third. Airship Syndicate, who made Battle Crashers, Night War, or Battle Chasers Night War. Jesus, come on, Ryan. And the League of Legends story, Ruin King, as in the RPG, not the poor event, have worked together with Digital Extremes, who make Warframe, Soulframe. Also, they made Dark Sector back in the day, which was why Warframe was technically considered Dark Sector 2 before they just made it Warframe. They're bringing out a free-to-play MMO.
Which looks amazing.
It does look cool. It's called Wayfinder. And there is a closed beta that is.
It finds ways.
Yeah, it's closed. It's basically got the art style of. Airship Syndicate have an art style with their games, and Wayfinder is just the same, but it's like full 3D open world now as opposed to the isometric maps and on the side scrolly RPG business. But yeah, there is a closed beta for that. I've signed up for it. Steph signed up for it.
Yep.
And it's definitely a thing. Just putting the trailer link in the side there as well.
Sounds on brand for you.
Oh,
I was kind of smiling to myself a little bit.
Mm.
It was it's kind of a bit of a chain reaction of associations. It's like my brain was like, it's like Wayfinder. Where have I heard that term before? And I thought about Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. They have the Sith Wayfinder.
Oh, yes.
And I saw a review of that movie where they had where he referred to the Wayfinders as MacGuffins, but because of like a mispronunciation, he accidentally called it a McMuffin.
Oh! Don't even get me started on that. Now that's going back to Mad Fellows Games, who tweeted this morning. There is a product in McDonald's at the moment called the Mighty McMuffin, and it's basically it's a single sausage patty with bacon and egg and with your choice of ketchup or brown sauce on one muffin. I looked at their tweet, and the tweet just said the Mighty McMuffin. Thoughts? And I just looked at it, remembering the pair of game developers, and immediately thought in my head that it was the Mighty McGuffin. And
it's
then
what everyone's seeking.
Yeah, I then got to the point of the fact that the Mighty McMuffin is the only breakfast menu item that is not customizable. So
me.
Yeah, so you can't make it a double sausage, triple bacon Mighty McMuffin.
The Mightier McMuffin.
The Mightier McMuffin. Why did I not think of that? Or the Mightier McGuffin. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like now it's just like now I'm wondering if like am I ever gonna be able to use like the Wayfinder? It's like am I ever gonna hear that word and not think of McMuffins? I don't know. I might never be able to do that.
Oh right, yeah.
That word might be broken in my mind.
So we'll get you on either the role-play Nottingham Games or play session of Wayfinder one day, and it's just like, hey, it's Ryan, Stefan, D, and Duncan here playing, and we all say Wayfinder, and you just say McMuffin.
Sponsored by McDonald's, not actually sponsored by McDonald's.
So we're looking forward to that. But the other thing that happened during the Game Awards of note was the weirdest thing that happened. I'm going to bring up the updated link because there was a slight problem with this. So there was this kid. So the Game of the Year moment happened, as it does every year at the Game Awards, and the winner was From Software's Elden Ring. Second place, or also nominated, was God of War Ragnarok, which had not even come out yet and was being nominated for Game of the Year. That I have a problem with. How can something be a Game of the Year if no one's fucking played it yet?
Well, yeah. I mean, you would think that would be like the bare minimum, requirement.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I've saw people play God of War Ragnarok and like they played God of Boy, and it's a really nice game. Narrative,
It really
great.
does look like a nice game.
Combat style, great. Voice acting, Christopher Judge got, voice actor of the year or whatnot for his Kratos thing, which is all great. We saw all that, but at the time that they did the nominations, the game wasn't even out yet. On a console that can only be bought, that can only be played by 3 types of people, influencers and game journalists, people who bought the console at a stupid price from a man who had a shed full of consoles in Bradford, or the man in Bradford who had all the game consoles in his warehouse.
Hey, that man from Bradford paid his due.
He paid a price. They went down in price a lot before Sony bumped the prices back up. Anyway, Elden Ring. Developers and the director and various men from Software came out to accept their award for Game of the Year, and then suddenly this 15-year-old kid in the loosest fitting suit jacket known to man comes out on stage.
But I mean, he is 15, but yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't. Yeah, no, but yeah, but the the weirdest looking thing, and he just comes out and what did he say? It was basically something, I'm just going to paraphrase. It was basically, it's like, oh, thank you very much for this. We really appreciate this award, and I'd like to nominate my thanks to Reformed Orthodox Jew Bill Clinton. Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And then he promptly got taken off stage while Jeff Keighley was just looking like, oh, ain't that a funny thing? Anyway, here's Imagine Dragons. I don't know whether they did. I don't know whether Imagine Dragons played.
Radioactive. I don't know. See, I feel like that would be great if they just like hard cut to like just the climax of like the idea is like they're just on stage with like in like a permanently like soundproof box, just going through their songs, and anytime they need them, they can just unmute them just as a distraction.
Everybody wants to be my enemy. And that's Imagine Dragons, everyone.
Enemy.
Hey, look, I wouldn't mind, but I do like some of their tunes. Some of the absolute weird, over Nickelback levels of hate, I don't get. I really don't. But still, I mean, I guess I understand there was the weird situation with last year's Game Awards where it was like, to celebrate Supergiant Games' 10th anniversary, here's Darren Korb and Ashley Barrett. And Imagine Dragons. Like, hey, what did Imagine Dragons have to do with Bastion, Hades, Transistor, Pyre? No.
Anything.
No, what happened is Darren Korb and Ashley Barrett sung about 3 lines of like the end song from Bastion. And then Imagine Dragons kicked into Enemy while they were both there, and they just did a thing celebrating 10 years of Supergiant Games by soundtracking Arcane. That's the most Game Awards thing that could ever happen. But anyway, yeah, this kid gets arrested, the kid was told that he was arrested, according to Jeff Keighley, who tweeted it out. It's just let you know, he's been arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department. And then people came out saying that the statement of Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton was a coded message in the support of anti-Semitism, which we have to take into account. That's that same week, and I refuse to say his new name, but Kanye West was on some rabid loon's channel discussing about how he loved Hitler, and while wearing what could only be described as a gimp suit. It was a full face mask with zips at the eyes and at the mouth. That's a gimp suit.
Okay.
I mean, he had a like camo puffer jacket on as well, but so it's like, what are you doing? You want to be known or seen or not seen? Pick a lane, West. And so this coded message, they thought that this kid was basically part of this group. And, we're about to absolutely rake him over, drag him over the coals. Rake him over the fires? Drag him over the coals? Whatever the statement is. It turns out afterwards,
Fire.
an escapist article come out afterwards, like a couple of days later, just like identity of 15-year-old stage invader known. Yeah, get back out there. You're not going. Get out. You're not going out the window.
Yeah. It's not on my bed. Is really where it's at.
So they identified him, and it just turns out he's just a kid known for stage invading. Usually, stage invading for reasonable purposes, as known as him invading BlizzCon 19, shouting "Free Hong Kong." Now remember, keep fighting for basic human rights, which at the time, that was the big what the fuck Blizzard of the day. Was basically cutting people from Hearthstone tournaments for saying freedom for Hong Kong. I mean, let's think of it this way: that was so much that we ended up having an episode saying banned in China because of stuff like that. So that's just how it works. So yeah, it just turns out Matt and Evan is just a kid that trolls people and is not part of any crazy schemes to do things. Take into account also the fact that it also come out that he's Jewish. So of course, why would you come out with an anti-Semitist rant as a Jew?
Also, this is like they said it was a coded message. Did they decode the code?
Yeah, I mean to be fair,
were they able to determine what the message was supposed to be if they were so set on the idea that it was some kind of hidden agenda thing?
Yeah.
It's just like maybe we get to the bottom of things before we just start jumping to conclusions.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Some are obvious, and when they are obvious, you can just go straight ahead. This one was thinking, to be fair, it nearly caught me out because I was, until this update came through, I would have been talking about the same thing on this podcast, but with a completely different viewpoint that would have then made us look crazy than we are.
Hold on a second.
Oh, speaking of crazy, Duncan's going. He's doing a thing. Where are we? What other news have we got? Oh yeah, I do want to talk about other news. So Steph, just checking, by the way, just checking up on you. Did you actually set your computer to watch the Game Awards stream to try and win one of those Steam Decks?
Forgot all about it.
You forgot. Okay, don't worry. Fair enough. So you didn't win. I didn't win. I'm going to assume Duncan didn't take part in the stream, so he wouldn't have won a Steam Deck.
I had no idea what you're talking about.
Fair enough. Okay, so there was a competition that we did on last week's podcast. Me and Steph looked and registered for a competition for the Game Awards, which was if you were watching the Game Awards stream on Steam, for the duration of the event, once per minute, a user would win a Steam Deck. Terry did the same thing, registered and forgot about it. I turned it on, and the stream crashed 5 minutes in, so I was entered 5 times and didn't win out of the 180 times that there were. However, someone won a Steam Deck. Part of the thing is it would give out the Steam username of every person who won a Steam Deck once per minute. One of those was known by the name of no other way of saying this, MILF Hunter.
What up, Based?
So yeah, this other Kotaku article just shows it just there. Congratulations, MILF Hunter, our latest Steam Deck winner. It's just like, oh no! I've just noticed at this point this happened during Christopher Judge's acceptance speech for his role of Kratos in God of War. He's making this absolute, emotional speech just to get the crowd sorted, and MILF Hunter wins.
We all know Kratos is the ultimate MILF Hunter.
Wow. So
he's out killing all the gods. so that he's the only one man enough left to take what's left.
Oh wow! Oh right, so it didn't even. According to this, it turns out that MILF Hunter was the first winner. So everything else, everything else was yeah. So that's why it was trending. Yeah, because it turns out MILF Hunter is also the name of a porn site.
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
I mean, yeah. But
8 billion people in the world. Whatever, like 100 million websites. It's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the Kotaku article says, congratulations to Mr. or Mrs. Hunter. I hope you do enjoy your new Stream Deck. Deck. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yes to all.
Yeah, Steam Deck. I keep saying Stream Deck. That's a completely different thing. Stream Deck is what I use to change scenes on OBS. Steam Deck is what you use to play video games that you don't need to use on Steam Deck. Anyway, shall we get to WTFTX?
Sure, man. Let's get on with it.
So, to give a very big update, FTX was a cryptocurrency trading platform. It was an exchange platform, so people could.
Is a key word.
Yes, was definitely operative word. Yeah. So there was. Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Terry. Yeah. So. Yeah, there's just a situation where this trading platform, rose to prominence, and then within 3 days of a profit warning, completely collapsed. Just died a death. Intended to file for bankruptcy. CEO Sam Bankman-Fried leaving his position as CEO. I don't know if it's Fried or Freed. I heard it on LBC, which is a news station, radio station we've got in the UK. They called it Fried. I don't know if it's Fried, Freed. Let's call the whole thing off. It's Millinois.
Yeah. Maloney.
Maloney. Yeah.
We'll just call him Sam Maloney from now on.
Yeah, so Sam Maloney resigned as CEO, as it turned out there were investigations that there was basically fraud or money laundering going on in regards of him basically like siphoning funds out of FTX into another one of his companies. And he was expected to be going to the Securities and Exchange Commission to explain why his company went under so quickly. He didn't really get that much time to do it, because as of yesterday evening, running into today as we're doing this stream, or if you see this in a couple of days on the video, he's been arrested in the Bahamas.
Hooray!
And an expedition and an expedition request is being sought. I love that Kotaku, just their articles, because they always trade into stuff. Because he always talked about, there was a talk about him being apparently so good at his job that he could play League of Legends while he was doing business meetings. It turned out that he couldn't. He was in bronze tier for his ranked matches, which basically he's us.
Yeah, one of us. That what you're saying is that any one of us could be a billionaire.
Yes. I was more saying if he wasn't like, absolutely sucking at his job of a business owner, he could sit there and join us on Team Fight Thursdays and he would fit straight in. But yeah.
Maybe he can maybe they can if he can finagle a few dollars to set aside from the civil case that'll run parallel to the criminal charges. Maybe they can install a nice gaming PC in his jail cell and he can stream from in there.
Hey everybody,
Wi-Fi is probably shit in prison. I bet anything. And they don't got Ethernet. Nah, fucking chance.
Hey, welcome. You're going to be here for the next 20 to life. Just to let you know, we have installed cable. It's fiber all the way in this bitch.
Basic cable. You get 6 channels.
Yeah, and all of them are.
And 2 of them are static because they're not online.
Oh man, it would be a little bit different though, innit? So yeah, welcome. Yeah, over here at least, just like yeah, welcome to Her Majesty's Strange Ways. That's the prison in Manchester.
It's like Her Majesty's Strange Ways.
Yeah.
Is that the real actual name of the prison?
HMP Strange Ways it would be. Her Majesty's Prison, or His Majesty's Prison now. God, I've just got.
Okay.
I've done the own thing. We've been going through the World Cup, and while England were playing, I was watching them sing the national anthem, and I did watch one of the players. I'm sure, almost certain it was at the time. One of the England players fluffed the line and said, "God save our Queen."
Well,
We were expecting it to happen.
Well, I mean, really, it's their fault for coming up with a national anthem that has to change every time there's a fucking monarch like dumbasses. Future-proof your songs.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Simple.
You know what? What's great about Canada? Canada's not going anywhere. It's gonna be the song is always gonna be about They have changed it though. They did change "Oh Canada." They don't like the part where you say "in all thy son's command." They leave it in the part about God save our land or God keep our land glorious and free because more important to appease the gods than or whatever. But whatever. Anyway, God's still in there. Sons have been changed. It's like instead of "in all thy sons" command, it's "in all of us" command, which is just not even grammatically correct. So
all of us command.
At that point, just write a new song.
Yeah.
But anyway, national anthems are great.
Yeah, but I was almost expecting someone to to absolutely fluff it up on camera, and for them to just go, "God save our Queen."
Our Queen, our alien overlord, Galactic Emperor Queen.
Praise be to Queen.
I, for one, welcome our new overlord Queen.
Oh god, I'm going to hell. I don't even know what we were talking about as well. Oh yeah, His Majesty's Prison, Strange Ways. It's like His Majesty's Prison, prison style, and stuff like that. I mean, there was a Stafford, sort of an area in the Midlands of England. Had a situation where there was a shopping centre, and across the road from the shopping centre is the prison. So
does anybody ever go? Do you think anyone ever does like grocery runs? It's like I'm off to whatever the British equivalent would be. I'm off to Timmy's. You want like a muffin or something?
Just while they're all there in the exercise yard. Yeah, could I have some Timbits, please, mate? Poor prison guard has to take 8 years to use the fucking self-serve machine at Tim Hortons now.
Double.
Yeah. So what else is there for news? So yeah, Sam freed Sam Maloney.
Sam Maloney.
Yeah, Sam Maloney. That's it. Sorry.
Going to jail for a fraud because he's a fucking asshole, shit-faced billionaire.
Yeah, there we go. So,
fraud, scamming piece of shit who deserves to never be allowed outside of concrete walls again.
Shouldn't be allowed to run a business ever again. But this is what someone did like put this as a comment somewhere. It's like, you know what? It's I reckon there's someone who actually had a lot of money who's been gypped here, and that's why he's being arrested. Because you can scam the pores all day long. But
yeah, just look at 2008.
Yeah.
But it's like what's that? $100 billion of working income money just disappeared because people who operate the banks are corrupt. oh well, we'll just wait a year or two. It'll be fine.
Yeah, just
We'll just pay those companies to not go under. We'll just take money out of your tax revenue to save them from bankruptcy, and we'll be fine. Everything will be great. There won't be an economic crisis.
yeah.
No, we're not getting your money. No, you're not getting your money back.
What money? The money doesn't exist anymore. But yeah. Last. So the last bits of that. There's the update. That was what I wanted to do. The charges: wire fraud, conspiracy, securities fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. I think the other thing on there is that someone was putting up a point of there's been apparently a lot of crypto, what are they called? So crypto owners and stuff like that who suddenly disappeared off the face of the earth because there may be mob activity. Best way of laundering money through Bitcoin. Idiots. Anyway, is there any other news that come up? One that yes, that's actually we're League of Legends fans. We enjoy the game.
Average League of Legends enjoyer.
Yep. That's the last bit of news.
We would probably be able to beat Sigmund Freud over here.
Yeah, Sam Maloney.
Yeah, with at League of Legends by the sounds of it.
Yeah. So last bit of news. Esports news, because I like my esports news. Mid-season Invitational MSI for 2023 is reported to be taking place in London, United Kingdom.
As long as the people doing the national anthem don't fuck up the gender pronouns for their current monarch, everything will be fine.
Yeah, well, no, to be fair, let's be honest. And now let's sing the anthem of League of Legends. We are the warriors.
My enemy. Radioactive.
It's the same box. It's the same box. It's just been shipped over from LA to Wembley. It's just like
they live in that box. There's actually there's a fridge, little kitchenette with like a vent. This with just wheel them around.
I just love it as we go into game 3 of our best of 5. Let's just call in on radio.
Yeah.
Let's just call in on
Imagine
Dragons.
every time they show up.
Yeah, let's just call in on Imagine Dragons. You are a natural. All right, there they are. They're still there. You see, the funny thing is, it was being discussed in the XL Esports community server. It just got posted, and it's like, oh wow, MSI in London. Sheesh, was just coming up, and I can see the headlines now. RMT strikes to take place in various days through esports competition, because we still have rail strikes over here. They're still happening. They're happening over Christmas. They're happening now. So from the 13th to the 14th, it's a 48-hour strike, and then the 16th to the 17th of December as another 48-hour strike. And then over Christmas, it's basically from 5:59 a.m. Christmas Eve through to 6 p.m. of the 27th. So no trains, or barely any trains, will be operating over the most busy parts of the Christmas period. And I'm just thinking, I'm on the idea that MSI will come up in April next year, and the strikes will still happen because negotiations still won't have gone through. That's the only thing I could think of in this otherwise big esports competition.
About this time?
Terms and conditions. It's not pay. It's driver-only trains. It's the other stuff. It's basically hire less people, not pay them enough, and basically making a train driver and the union's jobs ridiculous. So that's what it comes to. I'm on their idea. I mean, mainly due to this purpose. I hate the status of our current government turning around and saying these unions are all here and robbing the livelihoods of ordinary working people. Are train drivers not working people? Are nurses not working people? Yeah. Postal delivery people?
Yeah,
you join a union,
magically you're now elevated above to a higher echelon. It's like I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure that checks out.
No.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down there.
Yeah, so for that reason alone, I support the strikers. Simple as. Not enough to do a general strike. I can't afford it, but enough to turn around and say I'm in solidarity with them. So, but yeah, hopefully it won't affect MSI to a point where if I'm keeping an eye out, if it turns out the tickets are decent, I may be taking a trip down for a day or two. Watch a couple of games. Watch a couple of days of competition. Why not? Tick it off the bucket list.
WestJet's still broken, so I still can't. I legally can't fly over there unless I pay like twice as much money as I would be willing to.
Oh,
So I can use other air carriers, but I think a round trip to the UK is like minimum like $1,500. I would say, yeah, it's only affordable on WestJet because I can use my points to just hammer that shit down.
Just air mile it down.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
so I won't be seeing you guys in person anytime soon at the rate we're going.
Oh, we'll still figure it out. We will, work it out. Well, work it out. Let's jerk it out. Anyway, I guess it's time for us to wrap up then, I suppose. We've been going for
yes, it is.
an hour and 7 minutes plus startup. So an hour and 12 minutes we've been streaming live. So, yeah, thank you very much for anyone who'll have come in and watched and lurked or whatnot, or if you're looking at this on YouTube, cool. Hi, welcome. We're from the past.
What's up?
Yeah, so give us a follow on Twitch. I haven't got the goal bar here, but there's various goals actually. Give us a follow on Twitch. Try and get us to 100 followers, and then I will play Sonic Adventure for 12 hours to try and get 130 emblems in a absolutely impossible task for your enjoyment. Get us to 100 YouTube subscribers at youtube.com/@immaterialgamersyt. It's so much nicer now we've got a handle. Rather than having to put channels/YJBQ umlaut,
Why would you have an umlaut over a Q? I don't know if I can understand. What would that sound like?
Maloney.
Radioactive.
Well, it's nice to see that we've actually had a podcast that's had just callbacks in the same episode. It's great. But yeah, at Immaterial Gamers YT on YouTube. Give us a subscribe on there, and Duncan will not try to get 180 emblems in 12 hours of Sonic Adventure 2. And if we hit 150 subs and follows by the end of the new year, then me and Duncan will find a way to play Sonic 06 for 12 hours in the challenge known as Don't Go Mad and Survive.
Oh, I imagine there's at least 12 hours worth of pain and
there's
tucked away into the fatty folds of that game.
Yeah, and the Havoc engine.
I imagine you got at least 3 just tucked up right under the left nipple here.
Yeah, right there, right.
Some Cheeto dust.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh look, there's Lightspeed dashing the wrong way and then falling into the ocean and having to restart the game because there was no save point. Yep, there it is. Right there. Yeah, so that'll happen. If you want us to absolutely die on stream, do that. For your entertainment. We'll suffer. So yeah, go for that. And then check out the rest of the streaming week. So currently we're on Tuesday at the moment, so we can go ahead. Wednesday, Steph, are you playing Dragon Age? Or do you not know? Is it 50-50 again?
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50. I'm still working on kitchen.
Okay, kitchen. Steph will be doing his kitchen on Wednesday. Thursday, Teamfight Thursdays.
Not streamed.
Yeah, not streamed. We're back on the Howling Abyss for Teamfight Thursdays. Friday, maybe Among Us, maybe something else. Keep an eye on the Twitter at Immaterial Gamer while it's still there. Saturday and Sunday now, I'll be playing a new RPG on Role Playing Nottingham Games, playing Chained Heroes, which is looks like a Breath of Fire style 16-bit looking RPG. It's brand new. It's come out. I'm looking forward to it. Monday, the not yet titled stream continues the December of Hades, and then Tuesday, maybe Duncan and Andrea may work together, may be rivals, may take a break. Who knows? Again, check the Twitter and we'll find out. It's probably the best thing, innit? Yeah. Right, so from all of us, have a good week, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yay. See you.
Whoops, that's not the outro. There we go. This is the outro.